If you're watching this, you're probably about to spend $3,000 on the DJI Zenmuse H20T thermal camera. That's a serious investment for serious work. Today I'm going to save you from a costly mistake by revealing the critical problems no one is talking about. But here's what surprised me. This isn't a story of a bad product. It's a story about whether this is the right product for you. Therefore, I need you to stick around because the biggest flaw might be in your shopping cart, not in the box. For the best price, click the link in the description, but only after you watch this. Let's start with the obvious promise. This is a hybrid visual, zoom, and thermal camera built for drones like the M300 RTK. It's engineered for professionals in search and rescue, firefighting, and infrastructure inspection. The specs are, frankly, incredible on paper. A 20MP visual camera, a 23x hybrid optical zoom, a radiometric thermal sensor, and a laser rangefinder. It's a Swiss Army knife for the sky. But why would someone making a review tell you not to buy it? That's the twist, and the answer is more nuanced than you think. Therefore, we need to dive into the three core problems: the price, the platform, and the practicality. And I promise by the end of this, you'll know exactly where your money should go. First problem, the sticker shock. The price I found is around $27.99. That sounds high, but that's just the beginning. Here's the joke. Buying just the H20T is like buying a steering wheel and being surprised there's no car. This is not a standalone gadget. It's a payload. Therefore, you need a compatible drone, specifically the Matrix 300 RTK or newer, which itself is a five-figure investment. We're now talking about a system costing over $20,000. But the real financial gut punch comes from the software and licensing. To unlock the full potential, especially for detailed analytics and reporting, you're looking at DJI's higher-tier subscriptions. The initial purchase is just the cover charge to get into the club. Therefore, if your budget is tight, this entire ecosystem might be financially out of reach before you even take off. Which leads us to the second and perhaps biggest problem: the platform prison. The H20T is a masterpiece of engineering, but it's locked in a DJI fortress. It only works with specific enterprise drones. You can't slap this on your Mavic 3 or even a DIY drone. This is a deliberate choice by DJI to segment their market, but for you, it means zero flexibility. Therefore, you are buying into an entire ecosystem, not just a camera. But what if you already own a different enterprise platform? Tough luck. This isn't a modular tool, it's a package deal. And let's talk about the drone it requires. The Matrix series is incredible, but it's also large, requires more careful piloting, and has stricter regulations. It's not a grab-and-go solution. So the question becomes, are you ready to commit to that entire workflow? Okay, time for a joke to lighten the mood. What do you call a drone pilot who only reads the first page of the manual? A former drone pilot. Seriously, the learning curve here is the third problem: practicality versus power. The H20T is powerful, but that power comes with complexity. Switching seamlessly between the thermal, zoom, and visual feeds while managing a flight requires practice. The interface, while good, can be overwhelming during a critical mission. But the most common complaint I've dug into isn't about quality, it's about overkill. Therefore, I need you to ask yourself a brutally honest question. Do you need all three sensors integrated into one unit? Many inspectors only need a high-res visual and a zoom. Many first responders prioritize thermal above all else. By forcing all three into one package, DJI has created a jack-of-all-trades that is a master of most, but you're paying for the ones you might not use. It's like ordering a combo meal when you only wanted the burger, and now you're stuck with a soggy fry and a drink you don't like. Let's get specific about the thermal performance, because this is where expectations clash with reality. The radiometric thermal sensor is excellent for finding heat leaks or a person in a field. but its resolution is lower than a dedicated top-tier thermal camera. Therefore, for fine-detail thermal analysis, you might hit a limit. It's perfect for identification and general inspection, but if you're doing scientific-grade thermal mapping, you might need a more specialized, and yes, even more expensive sensor. This isn't a deal-breaker for 90% of users, but it's a critical spec to understand. You're getting good thermal, not necessarily the absolute best thermal money can buy. And then there's the zoom. The 23x hybrid zoom is fantastic, allowing you to read a serial number from a safe distance. But here's a subtle issue. In high heat conditions, the image can shimmer due to thermal distortion, a problem all long zooms face, but one that's compounded when you're also processing a thermal feed. Therefore, your perfect inspection window might be narrower than you think. This isn't the H20T's fault per se, but it's a real-world constraint of its design that isn't in the brochure. But wait, I promised an honest review, so let's flip the script. What's actually asterisk good about it? Because it would be dishonest to only focus on the problems. The integration is seamless when it works. The ability to tap on the visual screen to get a laser rangefinder distance to that exact point is magic for infrastructure work. The picture-in-picture mode that overlays thermal on visual is a game-changer for search and rescue. The build quality is military-grade. Therefore, for the right user, a team that has the Matrix platform needs all three sensor types regularly and has the budget for the full suite. This is an unbeatable tool. It consolidates what used to require multiple drones and pilots into one flight. But are you that user? Let's do a quick cost-benefit autopsy. Benefit: unmatched integration of three critical sensors. Cost: high initial price, locked ecosystem, and operational complexity. Therefore, the resolution to this review isn't a simple buy or don't buy. It's a flowchart. Do you already own, or are you committed to buying a DJI Matrix 300-350? If no, stop. Don't buy the H20T. If yes, do your daily tasks require asterisk simultaneous visual, zoom, and thermal data? If no, consider the cheaper H20, no thermal or a different payload. If yes, then congratulations, the H20T is probably your best option on the market. See how that works. Time for joke number 3. Why did the drone get a promotion? It had outstanding hovercraft. I've gathered user reviews, and the top praises are about the image quality and the laser rangefinder's accuracy. The top complaints: the price, obviously, and some software glitches that require reboots. But the most telling reviews are from people who bought it for one primary function and feel they wasted money on the other two. That's the core dilemma. Therefore, my final verdict is this. The DJI Zenmuse H20T is an engineering marvel that is absolutely wrong for most people. It's a specialist tool for a specialist job. Calling it overpriced is missing the point. It's mispriced for anyone outside its narrow target audience. But for that audience, it's worth every penny. So the title says, don't buy the DJI Zenmuse H20T, and I stand by that, unless you've just nodded along to every point in that flowchart. One last joke. What's a thermal camera's favorite music? Heat wave. So what's the alternative? If you're in the market for thermal but the H20T system is too much, look at the DJI Mavic 3 Thermal. It's a more affordable, all-in-one drone with a low-arrays thermal sensor. For pure visual inspection, the Zenmuse P1 photogrammetry camera is a beast. The point is, DJI makes tools for every tier. Your mission is to pick the right tool, not just the most impressive one. Therefore, I've done the research for you. If you've watched this whole review and you've determined that you are, in fact, the perfect candidate for the H20T, you need the trifecta of sensors and you have the platform, then I want to help you get the best deal. I've linked to the current best price on Amazon for the DJI Zenmuse H20T in the description below. Check it out, read the latest reviews, and make that informed decision with your eyes wide open. Click that link now. For everyone else, you're welcome. You just saved yourself thousands.